Everybody, Rich Gibney here with Ballroom Journey. We are part of the programming at the Middletown Arts Center in Middletown, New Jersey. And welcome to the All Levels class. So for me, when I say All Levels class, what I like to do is show a movement or a concept and then keep adding layers to it to make it better and better and better for you. As the dancer, for your level, you can dance up to what you feel comfortable doing, and that way there's something for you to improve on down the road, and then perhaps we're back to dancing and you're with your instructor, they can take you one step further. So that's the concept, or that's the idea behind All Levels. Today, we're going to do a movement in the waltz. We're going to do the développé, the kicking action for waltz, and I did a smooth lesson, technique lesson on the rise and fall last month, so you might want to visit that if you haven't seen it already to work on that as well. Okay, so the développé. First things first, when we learn the movement or the kick, you're probably told to kick your leg out. Whoop. And we want to avoid just kicking the leg out. So first things first, in all kicks, whether it's swing or waltz, make sure you always point your toe, right? We don't have any flex toes going up, flex foot. So always point your toe. But let's get into the kick a bit more. Sometimes, the two most common ways are going back outside partner into your kick, or you turn to promenade hesitation and going into a kick. So let me talk about those first. When you're outside partner, your partner is stepping the outside of you as the follower now, when you go backward on the one count, right, one, your foot will scoop across, you pick up from the thigh, and then you get to extend to whatever height you feel comfortable. So if you're only able to kick this high, that's great. If you're able to kick a bit higher, or you want to go more, that's great too, whatever your natural ability is. And then you can work on stretching to improve that if you like. But the first part is, if you notice my left leg is scooping across my right leg, and then I'm lifting it from the thigh, and then I get to make my kick. If you're dancing the promenade hesitation, one, it's the same concept that I'm going to scoop under my body, scoop, lift the leg, and then kick. Again, making sure your toe is pointed. Okay, so now let's start to get into the nitty-gritty of all this. For the most part, I'm going to talk about the outside partner one. I tend to dance that a lot, so we're going to share this with you. We know that in order to do a kick or a movement, it has to be generated through the body, not just the appendage just going on its own. So first things for a beginning level, make sure you scoop and then you kick. Now, a more advanced level is as I'm taking my core back, right, that will draw the leg under my body. So I'm starting to pull everything in, right, pulling up and in. The next part, when I go to rise up through my thigh, I'm also lifting through my standing leg and my body. So everything is coming up. Now, as I go to kick forward, I want to counterbalance that movement with an opening up or a lifting up of the chest, right? So your body is coming in and lifting straight up, right? So I step back, I draw the leg in, because I'm pulling the center in, boom, and I lift through my standing leg, and when I'm ready to kick, I am opening up the body, lifting up the body. From there, let me back up a little bit. Be careful that as the follower, that when you are kicking, that you have your partner for some stability, but you're not hanging on them, you're not pushing on your partner, right? You can still have your frame and grow from that position without pushing. So avoid pushing on your partner. This is all internal right now. So I've pulled in, I have my frame, boom, I'm lifting, and I'm stretching, boom, and I'm lifting up the body. Now, if you're in a routine where you have a longer time to kick, you may choose to add in a little bit of a layout or a back bend like movement. And let's try an exercise first before we do that. As the person who's doing the back bend, the follower, and there are some times the leader does movements as well for fun, you're in control the entire time of your own body weight and your own balance. You want to avoid hanging on your partner and using them. So here's a good exercise. So if you do nothing else for this lesson, get up out of your chair now and try this. If you go up to your toes, right? My feet are a little bit apart, I'm on my toes. And say I want to do a back bend, right? Or a movement. All I want to do is hinge from the knee and lower as much as I feel comfortable. Now, what you don't feel during this part is that as I'm going backward, the equal and opposite reaction is my chest is lifting forward. So while my back and my head is going backward, I'm still lifting through my chest. And you can go as low as you want to on your own balance. Worst case scenario is as you're doing this, you're throwing all your weight backward, not counterbalancing yourself, and hanging on your partner. And if you lose weight and you fall, or you stumble backwards, and they are off balance, you both go down. So the exercise is you come up to your toe, you send your knee and your hip forward and hinge. I'm going up and back with my head, and the chest continues to lift, and I flex my knees as much as possible, or as much as the time allows, or your flexibility. Now, how does this work in your kick? Well, I'm glad you asked. So when I step backward for the kick, and I'm doing my lift, I'm pulling everything in, I can stay flat, if you like, and hinge to draw out a nice long movement. So, first option was to stay straight and to kick, being upright in your posture. Second option is as you go backwards, right as you kick, you get to lay out a little bit. Again, you're on your own balance. You're not hanging on to your partner. Okay, so this is your kick outside partner. This doesn't really work in the promenade hesitation because just the position that you're in. So if I'm doing my promenade hesitation now, I'm coming through and I want to pull everything in to collect my foot. And as I kick, I might want to shape away, but what I would choose not to go back for this one. It's just awkward on the exit, right? So I step in promenade position. I step in promenade position. Boom. I collect my foot. I make my kick, and then I walk out by softening the standing leg. Okay, hopefully this gives you some things to work on. The first part is to point your toe if you're new to kicking. The second part is trying to focus on scooping your leg and then kicking. The third part to all this is trying to use your core to draw everything in, right? So I step backwards and I use my core to pull in. The fourth part to all this was after I used my core, I used my standing leg to lift up through my standing leg, and also to lift through my leg for the kick, and then extend, regardless of height, doesn't make a difference. And the last part to all this is to make the hinge or the layout whatever you feel comfortable without hanging on your partner. So you step back, you draw in, extend, keeping the body lifted, and then you get to walk out. Take it in that order. Do not just go for the last back bend, layout position, because you'll be off balance. It won't work. So you just can't do a scoop and then go because you haven't had the base and lift. So that would be the order to go in. Okay, I've talked your ear off now. It's time for you to practice. I forgot to say, you usually only have the 2 and the 3 to get this done in. Because if you're keeping normal timing, 1, 2, 3. So you step back, 1, 2, 3, and then away you go. Right, so it all happens very quickly. That's why I say take it in stages. Okay, good luck. Practice this with your waltz. I look forward to seeing you on the social dance floor at some point and seeing you having improved kicks. You're always more than welcome to include a video of practicing, and that's also something I would encourage. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.